finally. And we are here.
Estamos aquí.
With you.
Contigo.
And we're all students.
Like most of you.
We come from different places. With
Different voices.
That speak different languages.
Like you.
Como usted.
Hojine.
And we have this story to tell.
Which is really a whole bunch of stories.
800,000, actually. You'll really have to use your imagination.
Stories you might know, or think you know.
Or we're afraid to ask.
And we need you, here.
To listen.
To get it. But it's complicated.
Really
Very
complicated. Because the people who could tell these stories best. It's not safe for them.
And these people out there, they were our friends.
Our neighbors.
Our siblings.
Cousins.
Teachers.
Co-workers. Classmates.
Doctors.
Lawyers.
Yours too.
Fellow Americans.
Who are really good at being excellent. Working hard. Going to school.
Like us.
Like us.
Like all of you.
Okay, but we really need to get started right now. Every day, 122 dreamers lose their status. DACA expires in 10 days. Come on, let's go, ahorita.
We'll call me Catarina. I'll be Jimena.
Let's call me Mateo.
I'll be Francisco.
I'll be playing Christy, a lawyer. She comes into the story a little later. Get ready. This first part, this is big. Garcia, for Blanca. Verónica, Mariana, for Corinne, for Carla, for Jose, for Teresa, for Carla, for Gabby, for Jose, for Lidia, for Nadia, for Calvin, for Jesus, for Gabby, for Veronica, for Daniela, for Carla, for Kaneda,
to mend our nation's immigration policy is to make it more fair, more efficient, and more just, specifically for certain young people, sometimes called dreamers. Now, these are young people who study in our schools, they play in our neighborhoods, they're friends with our kids, they pledge allegiance to our flag. They are
Americans in the hearts, and in their minds, and in every single way but one, on paper. They were brought to this country by their parents.
Yeah, I remember bits and parts. I remember the plane, the flight here. We landed in San Diego, and I remember my parents telling me to stay off the streets and stuff, because we were on a visitor's visa. I remember the drive, seeing California for the first time, and eventually we just arrived at my aunt's and uncle's house. We didn't see them for a few years after that. That's all I remember, really.
Sometimes even as infants.
I've been here since I was a month old. Yeah.
And often have no idea that they're undocumented until they apply for a job, or a driver's license, or a college scholarship.
I was just gonna turn 16, and I asked my mom if I could please get my social so I could get a job. And my mom looked at me and she said, "Mija, you're an immigrant. You know this by now." I actually knew I was an immigrant since I was little, but I never knew what it truly meant to be an immigrant. I just thought it meant you migrated from one place to another. But being an immigrant means that you don't have a social.
I realized I was undocumented when all my brothers and sisters will be able to go visit my dad in Mexico, and I have to stay alone with my mom. I always got really sad when they'll leave. But we're a mixed status family. I'm the only one of my siblings that doesn't have papers. My mom had me teaching for reasons I really don't know. Always wanted to, but yeah.
Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine you've done everything right your entire life, studied hard, worked hard, maybe even graduated at the top of your class.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my taxes at the end of this year like I did it last year and the year before that. We're not trying to take anything from anybody. We're trying to do things right.
Only to suddenly face the threat of deportation to a country you know nothing about with a language you may not even speak.
I'm ashamed to say it, but I don't speak any Spanish. English. That's all I speak.
That's what gave rise to the DREAM Act. It says that if your parents brought you here, if you've been here for 5 years, if you're willing to go to college or serve in our military, you can one day earn your citizenship. Now, I said time and time again to Congress that send me the DREAM Act. Put it on my desk and I will sign it right away. This piece of legislation was written by both parties. It received 55 votes in the Senate, but Republicans blocked it. The bill hasn't changed. Need for it hasn't changed. is still the right thing to do. Only thing that's changed, apparently, is the politics.
Papa! I need help with a form for school!
Yes, Mija, what is it?
I get to take driver's ed next year, but I have to turn in all these forms before summer break. What's my social security number?
I was just about to graduate from high school, and everyone in my homeroom was filling out this FAFSA form, you know, financial aid. And I thought, oh, I don't think I have all the info I need. Took it home and showed my dad. That's when he told me that I couldn't get aid because I didn't have a social security number.
Katharina, you know you were not born in America, right?
My dad was deported when I was in 7th grade, and that's when I really began to understand what it meant to be undocumented. My parents always told me not to tell the teachers. Tell them you're from California, they'd say.
Hey, Mom. I can't go to Miguel's parent night tonight. My boss just added another shift. Te pido un favor si lo puedes cuidar esta noche. I'd really appreciate it.
It really affects you psychologically. I get anxiety very easily, you know, and I can't control that sometimes. My friends, they try to help me out in some sort of way, but they just don't get it.
Hey, you new?
New to the night shift, I'm Francisco. Good to meet you.
Yeah, you too. I'm Tiffany. Hey, do you mind if I just call you Frank? I'm not so good with ethnic names.
Sure.
In the absence of any action from Congress to fix our broken immigration system, eligible individuals...
As a kid, I never really had a dream. I never really had the luxury to think it could actually come true if I had one. I wasn't really legal until... You have to be 16 for DACA, so my life didn't really start until I was 16.
Deferred action for childhood arrivals, yeah, I remember. I met all the qualifications to apply. I was 16 years of age or older at the time, currently in school.
Have never been convicted of a felony offense, a significant misdemeanor, or more than 3 misdemeanors of any kind.
And do not present a threat to national security or public safety, will be able to request temporary relief from deportation proceedings and apply for work authorization. Now let's be clear, this is not amnesty. This is not immunity.
It's not a path to citizenship. It's not a permanent fix, but Jimena.
But it's something, right?
This is a temporary stopgap measure.
It lets us focus our resources wisely while giving a degree of belief and hope to talented, driven, patriotic young people. It is the right thing to do.
These are the forms for DACA.
Don't worry. I'm going to help you with all of it.
We do a lot of DACA applications at my office. I was practicing law when DACA became an executive action, so I probably personally worked on at least 200 or 300 successful DACA applications. I've also seen the kids who weren't allowed to apply for DACA because their parents left for just a 6-month period, you know, during those required 5 years. And I've seen someone literally enter the day after he turned 16 and couldn't qualify. So I feel like I've seen a lot of the positive, but also the heartbreak.
That is a lot of paperwork.
If we fill these out, is the government going to have access to everything about us?
Yes, they will know that you're undocumented.
But if we qualify, then we're able to get a social security number, right?
Exactly.
And a driver's license.
I fill out whatever I have to if it means I can work. I need help with my mom and sisters.
Keep in mind that your employers will have the knowledge that you have DACA. So always be prepared to keep your permits up to date. Depending on where you work, your employers might have to let you go if your permit expires.
So I could work and apply for student loans?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want the government to have even more information.
Francisco, right? I understand your trepidation, but this is really an amazing opportunity here. You can apply for financial aid once you fill out the forms correctly and you pay the DACA application fee.
Oh. How much is it?
It costs a lot more than just the application fee. Having to find all these documents that prove when we got here and started school here, I had all these memories resurface of what it was like back then, and it was not an easy time.
I was brought when I was 11. I came when I was 7 from Brazil.
I was about 10, 12 years old.
I was 7 years old, about 8 years old when I came to the United States with my mother.
I came here when I was 5. My parents both worked, and my mom never really had the time to cook. So often, I would just go to the store by myself. I grew up fast, I guess. I started getting the attention of other parents because we were at the grocery store together.
Hey, Frank. I'm about to go grab some lunch. Do you want to come with?
Yeah? Where are you going?
Maybe Jack in the Box?
Jack in the Box.
Spider-Man, let us pray. Dear God, please let Mama bring home leftovers from Jack in the Box tonight. My sister and I haven't eaten since breakfast, and we love Jack in the Box. If Mama doesn't bring it, we will have to eat cup of noodles again. Blech! God, I would love you forever if Mama could bring cheeseburgers, curly fries, tacos, and egg rolls, because they taste so good. I can't believe Jack in the Box has egg rolls. I promise we won't attack the food so Mama won't have to say no peleas por la comida, because we'll be really, really thankful, God. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, I grew up fast.
You know, I just remembered. I brought my lunch today, saving up for a thing.
No worries. Maybe next time?
Yeah, maybe.
I would love to be able to relax and breathe and stop. Just stop everything. I feel like everything is going so fast and I can't process anything. Just stop so I can reflect. Because that's what I need. Yeah, that's what I need.
Oh! God damn it. Miguel, how many times do I have to tell you to pick up your toys?
But if I do slow down, all these memories come back to haunt me.
No, Mateo. Essentials only. How many times do I have to tell you? A ver, Mateo, pásame ese suéter. Mija, ¿no quieres llevarte tu diploma? No, mi diploma? Solo para tomar más espacio. It's only going to take up more space. Essentials only for the crossing. Pero tal vez lo ocupes. Ándale, llévatelo. No, mamá. Solo puedo llevar lo más necesario. A lo mejor te lo dejo aquí con usted, para que me lo cuides.
When you are an immigrant in this country, you wake up every day with the fear that you could be taken away, right? That your family could be broken up.
Well, I have been preparing my kids of, this or the risk. This could happen to your dad and to me.
I just can't imagine, my nieces and nephews being separated from their parents, or them going back to a country.
Yes, I know. It is a wonderful opportunity.
It's amazing that I can have rights. I can finally get a good job, and I can get a license.
No podemos. You can't.
¿Pero por qué, papá?
Porque no tenemos el dinero. We don't have the money. Your mama's been trying to find a new way to cross, and all of my money goes to your mama, and for the apartment, and for the school, and for your food.
Well, then I can make the money. I can clean houses, and I can fundraise or ask for donations, maybe. It's $465 to apply. Plus, I have to pay the lawyer $100 to help me.
Mija, how can we raise the money for that and help your mama?
I can't live like this anymore. In this fear. I have so much that I want to do.
Catalina, I know. I love your drive. I love your ambition. Como tu mamá. But we're limited, and this has to be our priority. We need to get your mama to safety. You could apply next year.
Yeah, you're right. Next year.
It was a really difficult process. It was okay. I just got all my stuff together. Actually, it was kind of fun. I like getting things together. I was so lucky my mom kept everything from elementary school. We had to look for every document we could find, every award, from kindergarten all the way up. I became documented in 2013 in July. No, August. I had to prove I was here on a certain day. When I got it, it was amazing. I cried. Everybody gave me hugs. My mom bought me a cake. We celebrated. I got my ID. I felt so cool. I never had an ID before. Wait, scratch that. I got my social, because you have to have your social before you can get an ID. It was easy in a sense. I was volunteering for CHIDA at the time, the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. I know all the documents I needed to pull together. And when I say documents, I mean a lot of documents. In a world where we are striving to go paperless, I had to keep all of my papers.
I had it, and I don't anymore, but I did have DACA. Okay, my mom was afraid. This was before the election, and we weren't quite sure who was going to be president, either Trump or Hillary, and my mom didn't want us to just put all our information out there again, just to be put on some list. We were afraid that under Trump they'd start deporting people left and right, and, well, ICE is everywhere these days. The other day, they followed my mom home from work. That's what life is like now.
One of the misnomers people talk about a lot with immigration, this idea that people can just get in line and come the legal way, but there is no legal way. Especially for the vast majority of DACA recipients, there is no legal way. If you're a dreamer, your parents are undocumented, and you need a family member who has documents. If you have a brother or sister who was born here, then you can wait till they're 21 so they can file a petition for you. Sure, you can do that. Right now, they're processing petitions from 1994. So if you're willing to wait 60 or 80 years, you're gonna be set. People don't comprehend this. There is no line to get in.
This land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is our land, this land is my land, from farms in Idaho to the marshes of Florida. We passed legislation to strengthen our borders. This land was made to protect me. As we saw airplanes fly into towers, we interrogate terrorists and undesirables. We passed the Patriot Act and created the DHS. This land remains white like me!
Tiembla la tierra.
The earth is trembling.
Tembla mi corazón.
My heart is trembling.
Tiembla mi fe.
My faith is trembling.
Mis sueños.
My dreams.
El sol.
The sun.
La luna.
The moon.
Mi pasado y futuro.
My past and my future.
Yo temblo con la realización.
I tremble with the realization
Que el color de mi piel.
that the color of my skin.
Que mi lengua.
That my language.
Que mi cultura.
That my culture.
Que mi valor.
That my courage.
Is in the path of danger.
My permit will expire August of 2018, and I should have a plan, and I think about it, but I don't want to think about it because somehow I'm still in denial. It just seems so ridiculous and stupid that I should be worrying about my legal situation, how those documents have control over my life, and it's annoying. I was raised here, been here way longer than in El Salvador.
Hey, you out of here?
Yeah, shipment already went out. We're ahead of schedule today.
Catch you later for a beer?
I'd like to. Really, I would. I have obligations with my folks.
That sucks. I get it though. Maybe next time?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
I should be thinking about it, but I don't want to, because I still have hope. I still have hope that they'll let us stay. Let us continue to live our lives here. What are they going to do? In order to get our papers, we can't have any crime on our record at all. Nothing. None of that. We can't even be pulled over. And on top of that, we have to pay the government $500 to not deport us every 2 years. We are some of the cleanest citizens in this nation. We are just a small group of people trying to pursue our dreams. And now for someone to take our dreams away and throw us away like we're nothing. To me, that's devastating.
I would love to be able to relax, stop everything. I feel like everything's going so fast I can't process anything right now. I just need a minute to breathe. No, Miguelito, no! You need to eat your dinner first! But all I keep thinking about is, what the hell is my son gonna do if I get deported? Thank you. You'll ruin his life.
If I had to go back to El Salvador, I'd end up dead. I'd be too white, too American for the gangsters and the cholos, so they would spot me in a second. But apparently, I'm too immigrant to be here. Too Latino, too brown.
This land is not a white America. It's not. This is a land of immigrants.
A client of ours runs a packing house. He had been using a fake social security card, so when he got DACA, we gave him the standard thing to say when he went to his employer with the real social. Well, yesterday he called and asked, now what do I say? From the employer's standpoint, it's hard to hire knowingly people who are undocumented, but a wink wink nod nod thing is okay. Like, you don't tell me and I'll pretend I don't know. But if you have DACA, they will know when your permit expires. So there's no more wink wink nod nod. Your employers will have no choice but to take legal liability for you, which they could be fined or arrested for, or more than likely they terminate you. Or worse. So it's not a good position for anyone to be in.
It's a type of war. When you're undocumented, you're always just wary of the situations, the locations, who you're talking to, how you're interacting with folks, ensuring that you don't do anything that will bring attention to you because you live out of life in shadows.
We just want to stay here and contribute to this country, to the economy. We are good people. We're not criminals.
My family, I'm fighting for the friends of mine that can't even stand up.
A perfect day would probably be a day off. Spending time with my family.
A perfect day.
And be with my sister. I don't really get to spend a lot of time with them because of school and work.
Waking up whenever I
Actually, my new favorite. Cincinnati's Wi-Fi. I don't know if you heard of it. It's really
maybe
good.
just doing something for myself.
Screw perfect. Not having to worry about DACA. Not have to worry about my papers.
A perfect day would be just a day learning more about my culture. Just recently we started putting up ofrendas for Day of the Dead, offerings, and I started to get my dad to open up about them. And he was like, from when I was little, I remember doing this every year for Dia de los Muertos. And I was like, oh, I wish we had done that when I was a kid. The only way I knew about it was from that movie, Coco. And my dad said, Mija, that's just a Disney movie. There's so much more to your culture than that. And I was like, okay, but it was your job as my parent to inform me about my culture. Or, I don't know. Maybe not, you know, maybe that's my job. Honestly, I don't know what I am. I feel like there's these two worlds that I'm a part of, and I'm not really a part of either one, you know?
Program, young undocumented persons across the nation, known as Dreamers, are able to temporarily, but legally, stay in the country to work and contribute to our society and economy. And one professor from CSU Long Beach has found a way for these Dreamers to travel back to their homelands and return here to the U.S. legally. Professor Armando Vazquez-Ramos, thank you for being here today. So how is this going to work, Professor? What can you tell us about what is this advanced parole and what this means for Dreamers?
Well, advanced parole is a permit for non-citizens who do not have a valid immigrant visa to re-enter the United States after traveling abroad. You can cross or re-enter for educational or humanitarian purposes. You know these kids that came over here as children? They have not been able to go back to Mexico before this. Some have left close family members behind, parents, sisters, and brothers, and many have never met their family members before. You know, that connection is important. It's important to all of us as a society. So I looked at DACA and I thought, there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity here to heal this divide. I'm starting a study abroad program where DACA students originally from Mexico can return to their homeland. And I'm looking for some brave young people ready to do this with me.
Great. Thank you. If you're interested in learning more about this study abroad program for Dreamers, you can visit the website for the California Mexico Study Center. I think we have that up now, right? Great.
first trip with Professor Armando and 3 others, and then went back many more times with different groups. Each trip transformed me more and more. On that first trip, we didn't know what was going to happen. We knew Advanced Pro was a legitimate way for DACA recipients to travel abroad, so we took advantage of it. But it is tricky, because it's up to the will of the Border Patrol officer on duty to decide whether or not you can come back into the country. What happens if you get the officer that's anti-immigrant? I didn't care, though. I had to go.
I'm not going to think about what it's going to be like when I get there, or how I'm going to get back. I'm just going to do this for me, for Miguel, and for you, Mom. Me too. Yes, I will. I'll call you when I get there. Te quiero también.
Let me walk you through all the phases someone experiences on the trip. Then you'll get it. Securing the Advanced Pro, that's phase 1. You can apply for it, pay for it, but it doesn't guarantee you'll get it. Phase 2 is saying goodbye to family here before the trip.
Ay, mija, te voy a extrañar mucho. En el nombre del Padre, el Hijo y el Espíritu Santo. Amen.
I remember the first time I went. I had never been away from my family. They had a lot of fear. I remember my friend dropping me off at the airport saying,
"This is a huge risk. You don't have to go through with this."
The second phase is hard. Saying goodbye for what may be the last time. Getting to Mexico is the easy part. It seems like it would be a big deal, but then you actually cross the border and it's like...
That's it?
I'm in Mexico? Oh my God!
But the third phase, actually being in Mexico, that's a big deal. Once that starts, there's no way to back out. I didn't know who I was supposed to be there. And especially on that first trip. I know we all had that fear.
Before DACA, I was felt like I was in between 2 worlds. I was born in Honduras, but if I were to go back to Honduras, it's like I'm foreign to them.
Hello, brave souls. Bienvenidos a Mexico, your homeland. This trip will be a life-changing event for each of you, in one way or another, so you will need to learn how to care for yourself during this process. I would like you guys to meet someone that I arranged to be with us on our trip. This is Dr. Castillo. He's a psychologist.
Hello. It's so wonderful to meet all of you. I'm here to help you because, as you know, this is not going to be easy. This is not a vacation. This is a time for you to get to learn who you are, where you come from, and to expand your horizons on how you define yourself. And now, before you go your separate ways to visit your families, there are a couple things I want you to reflect on. The first one being, what are the things you brought to Mexico?
You mean like money?
I think he means more metaphorical.
Yes, like what expectations have you brought? But perhaps it can physicalize itself as an object, and that's okay too.
I'm nervous to see my mom again. I don't know what she's going to think of me.
Exactly. Now, along with this question of what you brought, there are 2 others I want you to keep in mind. What will you be leaving? What will you be taking back home? Now, I wish you safe travels throughout Mexico. Remember, be smart, speak as much Spanish as possible, if you can. We will meet back here in 2 weeks to share your experiences and to prepare you for your journey back to the States. Now go and enjoy time with your families.
Oh my God, Jimena! Hey! I feel like you've been gone my entire life.
It's been 3 days, Vero.
I'm dying without you. Mexico feels so far away. Plus Chris, oh my God, don't even get me started on Chris. He's been so annoying, like all the time.
Oh, come on.
Vero, have you heard from Jimena yet? Vero, do you know when Jimena will be back? I literally can't deal with him. You need to come back. Occupy your boyfriend so he stops distracting me.
Sorry.
How's it going over there? Did you cross the border okay?
Yeah, it went fine. Coming back's the scary part.
Yeah. How's the food down there? Is it amazing?
Oh, it's amazing.
Did you walk really cool markets yet?
Yeah, we went to Mercado El Popo and bought spices and stuff, and then we went to my cousin's house and made homemade carnitas.
Oh my god.
Oh, they were incredible. So much better in Mexico.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, you'd love it here.
So what's going on? Where are you?
Mexico City International Airport. I just landed.
Did you meet him yet?
No.
What are you doing calling me? Go meet him.
Pero I can't.
What?
I'm scared.
Well, Dad, of course you are. I would be too.
No, I'm still at the gate. Just like, stuck.
So he hasn't seen you yet?
No, he's waiting for me at baggage claim.
So go get off your butt and go meet your dad.
Pero I can't.
No, you went to Mexico for
I know.
You filled out all that paperwork.
Pero
you raised all that money, jumped through all those hoops to get your man's parole, and I had to hear you complaining for months about how confusing the system is. And then you drove down to Tijuana and flew to Mexico City, all to meet your dad for the first time in like your entire life. And you're chickening out.
Pero it's my dad. No. My dad, what if he doesn't like me? What if he actually meets me, gets to know me, and then decides that he made the right decision when I was 4 and never wants to see me again? You know, what if I actually see him and I just hate him and then we don't ever speak again? And then coming here would have been a complete waste. And what if I can't even cross the border back home because they won't honor my parole? Then I'm stuck in Mexico, so far away from you and Chris and my mom in a country with my dad who doesn't even want me. No, pero I can't do it. No, I can't.
Jimena, eres una luchadora.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You literally left the U.S. without knowing if you're going to be able to come back home. That's incredible. And yeah, you have your family here in California, me and Chris, and we're gonna fight for you if anything happens, and we're gonna get you home. But really, Jimena, we kind of don't know. And you went anyway. You're so brave and strong. You're my hero.
Yeah?
And he's going to love you. Are you kidding me? Who wouldn't love the 6th grade spelling bee regional champion, huh? Even if he doesn't. And he's a total fucking asshole. You've got all the family you need up here.
Yeah.
They tell us we're dreamers, you know? Like we're supposed to be just dreaming for our entire lives, but dreams need to become action sooner or later. You and I both know that being a dreamer means being a fighter too. So be brave, okay?
Okay. Thanks, Vero.
I got you, boo. Now bring me something from home, okay?
I had no idea what to expect. I hadn't seen my godparents in 15 years, except on Facebook, and I was gonna be staying with them for a whole week. Like most of us who went on the trip, I saw places and people from my distant past. Strangers who were actually family. Homes and streets filled with memories. Some clear, some hazy. I went back to the house where I spent the first 2 years of my life.
A strangely familiar little door. She realizes she's home. Yet,
so quiet.
No one to say, Abuelita, ya llegaron. Ya llegó mi muchachita. She wanted to tell her grandmother everything that was happening to her in the United States. She wanted to tell her how much she loves her, face to face, to hug her tightly, to feel her warmth. But her journey happened too late.
That's me.
She's from this place.
Soy de aquí y de allá.
She's from here and from there.
You gotta see real poverty. He lives in South Central LA. You think that's poverty, but that's not poverty at all. Okay, there are people here who are homeless, yes. But over there, people who have jobs, real work, they're living like they're homeless. Shacks with no running water, electricity from generators. That's the place, the situation he was born into. He thought, this is it. I'm finally gonna see my home. But it was nothing like he remembered. He remembers playing ball behind his house with all of his cousins and having lots of time to spend with his whole family. But he played in empty lots covered in garbage. And 10 people used to live in this small house. He thought he was returning home, but that wasn't his home.
Abuelita, tengo que dejar algo aquí y llevar algo de regreso.
Grandma, I have to leave something here and take something with me.
Es parte del viaje, como un proyecto para la escuela.
It's part of the trip, like a school project?
Aquí, te dejo este dinero. Es parte de mamá.
I'm leaving this money here for you. It's from my mom.
Y para regreso, me gusta llevarme a más diploma. Disculpa, abuelita, disculpe, pero I have to speak English. When I saw it hanging in your living room, I knew that was the thing I had to bring back. It's something my mom should be able to look at when she comes home tired from work. Did you know, abuelita, my mom has been cleaning offices for 15 years. 15 years of chemical burns, night shifts, and an idiot boss who grabs at her all the time. She's a lawyer, but she does this every single day for 15 years. For me and Miguel, I want to remind her that she's a valuable person, worthy of more. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make that happen. As soon as I can make that happen. Fuck. Shit. Disculpe, abuelita. Disculpe. So is it okay? Can I take it to her?
She went on the trip because she was tired of being afraid, tired of being numb, and like frozen. She needed to do something. Do it for herself, for her family, for her future. to feel alive, to say, your borders do not define me. I'm an amphibian, born a sea creature, turned a land dweller, turned without my knowledge and long before I was aware of my own beating heart. Going back to Mexico is like seeing the ocean for the first time. Its beauty envelops me. The waves entice me to go for a swim even though I have forgotten how. But my instincts kick in and I levitate above the soft ocean floor. I don't feel out of place. Hola, mamá. Te traje flores. Girasoles. I heard they were your favorite. Touching her again is like my fingertips grazing water. Sometimes waves take things from the surface and never return them. And sometimes they leave little gems hidden in the sand. I feel the fresh breeze running through my veins. I taste and smell camarones and empanadas de coco. My gifts are my regained senses. Senses that were lost in the transformation. I now possess lungs and scales. I am an amphibian. Born a sea creature, turned a land dweller.
I can't go back, Mama. I see how much you need me here.
Mija, you have to.
And for what? ¿Por qué?
¿Por qué te dije?
So I'm just gonna leave you here?
Sí.
Pero por qué?
Porque sí.
Pero por qué?
Sí.
Stop that! I'm not a little girl anymore. You know, I deserve a better answer than because you said so.
Then stop acting like a little girl by being naive. You know why you have to go.
I don't know why, Mama. I never see you. You know, you live here and I live there. And I feel like I'm missing half of myself all of the time. You know, why did you send me to the U.S.? Why'd you send me away? I didn't even have a say in it. You sent me to a place where I have no citizenship, no vote, no voice. I'm not wanted there. So what's so wrong with being where I come from? Where I belong? I belong here with you.
No.
What do you mean,
No, you don't belong here. Mija, haven't you been paying attention? Dios mío, Caterina, look around. Are you telling me you've not seen the people on the street? The poverty? You think we're all so happy here? You see the smiles on our faces, but we hide the worry to take care of our families. The government doesn't help us here, Mija. And there are people who are willing to take advantage and make the rest of us live in fear. We have to fend for ourselves and money is scarce.
Yeah, but Mama...
Te amo, Caterina. Pero you don't belong here. You don't deserve this. You are my creative, smart, stubborn little girl. You deserve opportunity. You deserve freedom. And returning even a day later than the date that is written on your advance parole means that you won't be able to cross back legally. You can't risk that. That's why you have to go. Te amo, Caterina. We will see each other again.
You can't know that.
Mija, if you were raised here in Mexico, you wouldn't dare raise your voice like that to me. That voice, you found that there. Eres Americana. You're American.
Sharing that, Mateo. You said you feel different. You look different. Would you say that's because you left some old ideas of yourself behind?
Yeah. That's it.
A powerful journey. As for the rest of us, do we know now what it is we brought, what we're taking home, what we're leaving behind?
I'm bringing back a necklace that my grandma left for me. My mom's mom. She raised me for 6 years of my life when I was in Mexico. I don't even call her grandma. I call her mamita. I have a jewelry box just for this necklace. The last time I saw her was when I turned 13. I didn't make it back here in time to see her again. But I have this. And this is her.
The next phase, the one before the final one, was actually getting back. We left at 2 a.m. and arrived at the airport at 5 a.m. in Mexico City, and that's where it got real. We didn't know if we were going to make it back okay, or if we were going to get that jerk person. And thankfully, I didn't. I was the first one through and had to wait with all of the bags around me to see if all of the others got through okay, and there was this one student. I'm not going to say her name. She was detained because they found something on her documents. They would call you to the line, check your documents, send you to secondary inspection, and then if they wanted to detain you, they'd send you to a third isolated area. We all saw her go to this area, but we weren't allowed to talk to her. She was a little older, a master's student, so she was able to keep it together and was never rude to the officer, just answered all of his questions. But I know she was very afraid. What if she couldn't come home? After 4 hours of not knowing what was happening, and they did not.
Mamá, Miguelito, ya llegué. Oye, mamá, te tengo una sorpresa. I have a surprise. It's your diploma.
No, Mama called me American. And I think it's true.
Mira, we are.
Yeah, definitely. I am American. I am Mexican American. Girl, duh.
No, I'm not American. I saved up and got DACA status, but I don't know if that was the right decision. I had to work. I had to help pay for my dad's medical bills. But now, USCIS has my information. Where we live, where I work, they know exactly where to find me when they decide to deport me. I want to believe like I belong here. I feel American in my heart, but it's clear I'm not welcomed here. What do you do when your legal status, whether it be DACA, the DREAM Act, an executive order, or some bill that is yet to be dreamt up, changes literally every day? You put your head down, keep your mouth shut, and you get to work, and you provide for your family for as long as you can.
You do more. You fight harder. When someone says you don't belong, you prove to them you do. I went back on a trip with Profe in the summer of 2017. It was just after the election, and we didn't know if our advanced pro was going to be honored anymore. We still had DACA at the time, but the new president was threatening to cancel it. And so last summer, with the help of Professor Armando, we went back for what would be the last time. Over 30 participants this time, determined not to live in fear, driven by their desire to reconnect with their culture, their loved ones, their roots, despite the great risk.
Se vive, se siente, los dreamers están presentes. Se vive, se siente, los dreamers están presentes. Se vive, se siente, los dreamers están presentes.
We were invited to be with the Dreamers for this last trip. As privileged, documented Latino American theater students, they let us witness their journey.
So we can tell their stories for you.
We saw their entire transformation from when they initially met each other here at Cal State Long Beach, right upstairs in our theater building for their orientation, to their journey to Mexico, to their group therapy sessions, to the bus ride from TJ back across the border to San Diego.
That bus ride. I didn't speak much on the bus back. I only observed with as much care as possible.
Because everyone was nervous to some degree. Some were calmer than others, some were in tears, and some were completely certain that there would be no issue.
And some were doing everything they could to not think about what would be happening in the next few minutes.
¡Se vive! ¡Se siente! ¡Los vives están presentes!
Thankfully, the universe provided us with one of the biggest distractions of all time. The solar eclipse.
Yeah, the solar eclipse was happening during our actual crossing. It felt like a sign. And so I thought maybe, even with all the craziness that had been going on, Charlottesville had just happened like the week before. And we were all carrying the devastation of that. Plus the fear of DACA getting canceled. Maybe with this cosmic shift, it would remind us all that we share a common origin among stars. And that we are all citizens of the same planet. I know, really stupid.
Reality's hitting pretty hard after that day.
The racist sheriff was pardoned that same week. And then the next week, he did it.
Known as DACA, that was effectuated under the Obama administration, is being rescinded. The DACA program was implemented in 2012 and essentially provided a legal status for recipients.
Yesterday, the White House announced the end of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program known as DACA. Here we have with us today are Armando Vazquez-Ramos, founder of the California-Mexico Study Center, and one of his students, Jimena Alvarez, a DACA recipient. Welcome back, Professor. Thank you for being here today, Jimena. I'm sure there's a lot going on for you at the center right now, so I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today. Help me understand how the President's announcement will affect the 800,000 DACA recipients nationwide, and what that means for your study abroad program using advanced parole.
When I first applied for DACA, I was really nervous to give up all my information to the government, to be totally on the books, out of the shadows. But my lawyer said, trust me, this is a huge opportunity. So I did, and it was. But when I called him yesterday after the announcement and asked him, what should I do now? He said, I'm so sorry, but we just don't know. Well, sorry doesn't cut it. Not for me. There's no sorry involved when my permit expires and I'm hunted by ICE if I stay.
You know, she's in law school. I'm working at a law firm right now. These are the folks we're talking about. As for my study abroad program, advanced parole for dreamers, that's done. They're not issuing any more advanced paroles. That trip we took in August was the last one. We can't continue to do our work again until DC comes up with a permanent solution for these young people.
There's a story about a group of children who live in a cave. They live in total darkness.
And one day someone comes in from the outside and begins to tell them about this thing called light. Beautiful, powerful, magnificent, glowing.
Light out there in the world that they have never experienced and never can.
To me, that seems so cruel. Telling children about something beautiful beyond measure and essential to life. Yet it is something they can never have.
These children, in this story, they're us. The dreamers who can only dream. The children who were born in a cave without light, and then told about it. And then told they can't have it.
When I heard about DACA, it changed my life forever.
I remember calling over and over again to USCIS until I got approved.
And then I went there, to that home.
Mexico.
El Salvador.
Honduras.
And I was home.
La luz, finalmente.
I felt my light after living in a pitch-black cave for 22 years.
Then I came back here, back home, and for the first time, I felt alive.
And then?
To see the light, finally, and have it snatched away from you. You can't have it, says one man.
And all across America, 800,000 hearts sink, because we've seen the light, and now it's gone.
Look, the people who are usually the most anti-immigrant are the people who don't know immigrants. The reality is that the immigration policies we've enacted since the 60s are anti-people of color, brown people. They want to focus on European immigration or people who look like you to come and not people of color. That's why there's a quota system. Why do you think Mexico only gets a certain number of green cards? And you know, DACA isn't just about Mexican people. I have DACA. And if there isn't a legislative solution soon, I'm going back to Vietnam. It's not my style to go back into the shadows.
I'm a second-year grad student at Wyoming State University. MA Counseling.
I work at the CSU Chancellor's office, and I'm in school here. My background has been in political movements and social awareness. I think I'll go into public administration. I like being in charge of the fight.
I'm going to be a teacher. That's currently my route. I am a human services major at Cal State Fullerton. Originally, I was supposed to be an acting major, but I think I'll make a much better teacher.
I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I'm living the dream. I'm a victim services rep in the district attorney's office. It's really fulfilling.
I want to go into social work for kids. I feel like kids need more help because kids shouldn't suffer because of their parents. I feel like that's the dream, to help with kids.
Okay, we're just about to get started. Thank you, Christy Nguyen, a great friend to La Raza here at CSUOB, for that informative and inspiring talk. She will also be our moderator when we start the Facebook Live event with the Congressman. Now, please join me in welcoming our U.S. Congressman for California's 47th, Alan Lowenthal! Okay, looks like we're getting the okay from the back. You ready to go live, Congressman?
Ready.
Great. Hi, I'm Catarina, President of La Raza here at CSULB. Welcome to the final event of our week-long series of lectures, panels, and discussion groups on the issues surrounding immigration reform. And thank you to all of you for attending in person and online. Now we have a lot to talk about tonight, so we're going to get started. Congressman?
Thank you. Thank you all for joining me for this Facebook Live event. I'm interested in reaching you, the young folks, so this old dinosaurs on Facebook. Also, apparently, on YouTube and Twitter. I have very young, very hip people working with me today, so that's very good. We're here today at the Theater Arts Department on the Cal State University campus to discuss DACA and immigration reform. I'll be taking questions from the audience, and for those of you watching online, go on and send in your questions and we'll address them live. My name is Alan Lowenthal. I guess I should start with that. I am the United States Congress member for the 47th Congressional District, which includes the vast majority of Long Beach, Little Signal Hill, a little bit of Lakewood, and quite a bit of Western Orange County. It's a very, very diverse district. It's the largest Vietnamese American district, large Latino district, large issues surrounding deportation there in Western Orange County. A part of the district that is experiencing tremendous demographic change. There's dramatic changes occurring in Orange County. So that's who I am, and now I want to hear from you. It looks like Christy has her first question.
Why is voting here such a big deal? Most of the people I know in California support the Dreamers. Is it really that big of an issue in a liberal state like California?
Because this district is the battleground in 2018. The real fight's going to be in Orange County, and we're going to see what we can do to make Orange County address the immigration debate, and then hopefully, elect representatives based upon issues of healthcare reform and immigration reform. You mark my words, OC is going to be the battleground for healthcare reform and immigration reform in 2018. So your district is really important on a national level.
Congressman, we have a question from an online participant. Francisco from Lakewood writes, if we do manage to elect these representatives you're talking about in 2018, what are they going to do to keep Dreamers from getting deported?
Thanks, Christy. That's a great question, Francisco. We need to not only make sure that we protect DACA Dreamers from deportation, we need to create a model for immigration reform. And it has to be a reasonable path to citizenship so that these members of our community can become a part of our culture and form it. Not just to be put into some never-never land where, sure, maybe you're not going to get deported, but where you don't have any rights. That is not acceptable. Because if you are a representative and you're not into providing citizenship for Dreamers, then you're not into immigration reform at all. You're not into immigration at all. Because if these people are not the people you want as your first-class citizens, folks that are educated, that want to do things, then what the hell are you into?
Some people think that immigration reform is bad for the economy. I think a lot of people are in support of the Dreamers, but are worried that helping them might affect jobs and wages here in California. How do we respond to that fear?
You know, when DACA first passed, it empowered thousands of Dreamers to start their own businesses, and many others to seek higher-paying jobs that aligned with their educational status. Now, these businesses, they have employees, they provide services, they provide state tax income for the state of California. The Dreamers, they've started families, they've bought houses, they've built lives here in California. And each of them, they spend money in the state of California. DACA Dreamers have contributed over $11 billion. $11 billion to the California state economy. And every day we don't act, 122 Dreamers lose their DACA status. Not only is that harmful to our economy, that's an injustice to those Dreamers and to their families.
We have another question from an online attendee. Jimena from Long Beach writes, what can we say to our friends who say their vote doesn't matter? What can we do? Great question. Your response?
Jimena, you say this. I need you to volunteer in 2018. Because I don't care whether you think it or whether you don't. I'm telling you, this is where the fight is going to be, local. It's not the big ticket you have to go for. It's the little ticket. My seat, the seat for the district next to me. We've got, just me talking here, we've got to have a majority in the House of Representatives that is really going to fight for people. That's it. That's what it's all about. Just 2 weeks ago, Nancy Pelosi stood on the House floor for 8 hours fighting for the rights of DACA Dreamers in 4-inch heels. Because in a democracy, nobody ever gets anything for free. It's not given to you for free. You've got to work for it. It's your responsibility to work for it. You're a part of society. Freedom isn't free. It's not given to you without a tremendous responsibility to help the next person.
Hi. I want to help, but I'm just a student, you know? What can I do if I don't have any money to donate to a campaign or something? What can I do?
You get involved, and you stay involved. You volunteer, you phone bank, you knock on doors, you post on social media, you don't stay silent. I mean, if you're really interested in the specifics of what you could do, we've got more information out there in the lobby today. But I'm telling you, the key here is you stay involved. You know, Katerina here is exactly the type of student I had in mind when I voted for AB 540. That bill that allowed undocumented students to pay in-state tuition at our universities that they deserve as graduates of our high schools. Now, Katerina's accomplishments here at CSULB are inspiring, but they're far from unique. Nationwide, 20,000 Dreamers teach in public schools. 14,000 Dreamers are public health care providers. 900 Dreamers fight in our military, and there are dozens of Dreamers out there every day studying to become doctors in our low-income communities. We need representatives that are willing to fight for the rights of these people so that they can move on into the next phase of their lives, ultimately, as major contributors to our economy and our society. That's what's so exciting about what's going on right now. All of this, right here, all of you here. There's so many of you wanting to get involved for the very, very first time. And I say to you right here, you, Katerina here, you at home, and you, all of you here, you get involved and you stay involved.
Students of Cal State Long Beach, we are about to embark on the next chapter of our lives. And a lot of you know what lies ahead for you. A job in your chosen field, new opportunities, travel, discoveries and innovations, hope. And I wish I could say the same. You know, back in Mexico, my first home, I remember my mother used to tell me a bedtime story about a goddess named Tonantzin. Aztec mother goddess, jade woman, mother of earth, goddess of sustenance, bringer of maize. I remember her telling me that Tonantzin was my goddess, and that she would always protect me. That if I wanted to achieve something, nothing could stop me. Nothing could get in my way. Friends, I am your valedictorian, part of your graduating class. You know, I grew up here, but because I wasn't actually born here, I don't know what the next chapter is for me. I don't know what's going to happen next. And so I'm summoning the strength and determination of my mother goddess, and I'm asking for your help. You know, you all have a power that I don't have, the power to vote. As much as this is an issue of immigration, it's an issue of humanity. Use the advantage that you have, and don't let this be the end of our story. Vote in the 2018 election. It really does start from the bottom up, and your voice and your vote, they really matter. A request from your valedictorian: fight for us.
For Sydnie, for Catarina, for Veronica, for Nadia, for Vanessa, Kelvin, for Sonia, for Luna, for Carla, for Nadia, for Gary, for Daniela,
And we are too, working together.
And now is the part when we start to write the ending together.
Together! We write the ending out there. And we do it because it's the right thing to do.
We stand up.
We act.
We raise our voices.
We keep telling this story, which is really 800,000 stories.
Stories of our friends.
Our neighbors.
Our siblings, cousins,
teachers, co-workers, classmates.
Us.